Hey guys, Mike here. So today I'm here to talk to you about the art of racing in the rain. In this review I'll be going over a brief summary of the plot, my quick thoughts about the film and whether or not you guys should go and see it. So I'm going to try and keep this review spoiler free. However, if you don't know anything about the film and you want to go in completely blind, then let's just come back to this video once you've seen the film. So with that, let's get started, shall we?
Must be amazing to have a body that can carry an entire creature inside. I just hoped it would look like me.
So The Art of Racing in the Rain stars Milo Ventimiglia. You may remember him from his role in Heroes. The movie also stars Amanda Seyfried as Eve. You may remember her from Les Miserables. And lastly, the movie also stars Kevin Costner as Enzo the dog. So The Art of Racing in the Rain is set over many years, though the main story is the friendship between Denny and Enzo the dog. Over the course of the movie, Denny meets his wife, has his daughter, and overall just tries to achieve his dream of becoming a professional race car driver. And so we have The Art of Racing in the Rain. So The Art of Racing in the Rain is produced by the same people who produced Marley and Me. So if this movie was going to be anything like Marley and Me, I knew I was in for an emotional roller coaster. And little did I know how much of an emotional roller coaster this movie was going to be. But before I get to all that, I want to talk about a couple of other things first. First of all, everyone in the movie, really good. Everyone gives great performances. Milo, Amanda, and Kevin are all really good in this. I thought that Kevin Costner's narration initially was going to get a bit old and tired and it was going to be kind of annoying to hear over and over again. Though thankfully, I thought he did a really good job of conveying what this dog was really going through. Everything he had to say was interesting, and it really did a good job setting the scene as well. And because of the brilliant filmmaking in this movie, you could honestly, though, take out the narration of Kevin Costner and probably just have the dog. You can probably figure out for yourself what the dog's feeling and probably interpret it for yourself. Though, as it stands, we do have Kevin Costner narrating, and it is really good. Though, I do have to say about Milo's character, other than him, being really good, and I actually like this character a lot, it's just, initially, I couldn't stop laughing at his name, because every time I heard it, I just kept thinking of this.
Nice to see you, Danny.
And honestly, it did take a little bit longer than I wanted to stop laughing at his name. Now, the pacing in this movie, surprisingly, it is actually really well balanced. Even though at certain points it does jump years and years ahead, it never feels forced, it never feels rushed, and it really does keep the pace nice and even throughout the movie. Which, honestly, I was surprised about, because normally movies where they just jump nearly decades ahead, it just really makes you lose track of where everything's going on. Now, I knew that this movie was going to really hit me at home, because I absolutely love dogs. I mean, except probably in disaster movies, because, you know, dogs tend to be quite annoying in there. Though, having said that, I do tend to care more about the dogs in those movies than I do about the human beings. So I knew I was in for some emotional torture watching a sad movie that has a dog in it. Little did I know how unprepared I was. This movie hits some amazing emotional highs, though you could argue that they're kind of throwing everything to the wall and hoping that something sticks. Thankfully, because this is such a good movie and you really care about the characters, every emotional scene that they have really does land and it really hits you hard. And that kind of brings me to the reviews of this movie, because I've seen that on Rotten Tomatoes. Again, I just don't like Rotten Tomatoes because, for the most part, I tend not to agree with what the critics say about movies. But they've given this a rotten review, and I was there just like, what do you not like about this movie? So I decided to actually do a little bit of research, and I read one or two of the reviews. But the one that kind of really stuck out to me, one of the rotten reviews, was this one person said that I want a refund for every choked throat or every tear that I had, or something along those lines. And I just thought that this was a really ridiculous review, because it's like watching a comedy and wanting a refund for every slapped knee or split side that you had during this movie. You know, that's the point of the movie. It's supposed to make you laugh. Like, the point of this movie is supposed to get emotional responses out of you and even make you cry. And if it's done that, then the movie has completely done its job. And I must say, it definitely had that effect on me. This movie was insanely emotional. I had no idea I was going to cry as hard as I did. And like I said in my Endgame review, I'm not ashamed to admit that I cry at movies. I mean, it wasn't too hard. All you had to do was have sad things happen to the dog, and that's it, I'm just gone. And the thing I'm most thankful for about this movie was that just before I saw it, I'd watched the Playmobil movie, and I was so glad that I'd watched a movie that was actually good, entertaining, and also funny as well, that it really kind of removed the bad taste that that movie left in my mouth. So, again, thank you, Art of Racing in the Rain. Overall, guys, I enjoyed this movie definitely a lot more than I thought I would. The characters were good, it was really heartwarming, and it was just really nice to actually see a heartwarming movie, because nowadays we've got loads of serious movies, we've got lots of bad comedies, so it's just nice to have something that just makes you feel good. But now, as for whether or not you guys should go and see it, I would definitely recommend that you should go see this movie. If you love dogs as much as I do, then you'll really enjoy this movie. And whether or not this movie is worth seeing in the cinemas is a little bit debatable, but for sheer quality alone, I would definitely recommend that you should go see this movie in the cinemas. Okay guys, that's my review of The Art of Racing in the Rain. If you've seen it, what did you think about it? And what's your favourite movie that made you cry? Whatever it is, drop it in the comments below. And until next time, I've been Michael. See ya!